What we are living through is a time of great upheaval. Firstly, because we are witnessing, and not just since this summer, but over the past few years, the end of what we might have seen as abundance. And for those who enjoyed it, it is also the end of a carefree time. Our freedom, the liberty to which we have grown accustomed to in our lives, has a price, and sometimes when we have to defend it, we have to make certain sacrifices as we fight to defend it.
Shalom, Watkins, you become a kapash from Jim Lord and giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Sheva Chakadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, Christian truth and all sincerity. Right, as you see in this clip, right, it's the time of the end, you know, and you know, he said a bunch of interesting stuff, man. You know, he said that there's been great upheaval, right, and he mentions about, you know, about the abundance, you know, this world has enjoyed for so long, well, for a while. Right, and how that's all coming to an end, and people are gonna have to be making sacrifices to prolong that, I guess, you know, because if you're having to sacrifice now, you haven't really got it, but you know, to keep it for a longer amount of time, you have to go through these dips and make these sacrifices, and that's what they want you to do, man. Okay, they want you to give in and give up, you know, give into the agendas, all right, because the sacrifice that you're going to make is ultimately going to end up with the mark of the beast, man. And you know, people are going to lose everything. But you know, I just want to go through some scriptures, man, because this is exactly what the scriptures say, you know, what they say, right? We're living in the time of the end. Okay, this is the end of this kingdom, right? And everything that he was saying is written plain in the scriptures, man. All right, so I'm gonna address, you know, some of the points, so, you know, as many as I can through these scriptures, all right, and just to show you, man. All right, so let me start here. Is in 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. So he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right? You mentioned about the upheaval, right? And the people are in an uproar, right? So many things is wrong with this earth and with the rulers of this earth, right? These people are, you know, angry and frustrated, right? The cost of living is going way, way, way too far. You know, things in general before now, you know, all the crises that are happening, it was already bad, you know, for the poor people of society, you know, on the lower incomes, right? Things are already tough, right? And these things that are happening on the earth, man, the pestilences, the food crisis, you know, the water crisis, you know, you name it, right? You know, all the crises that are going on, it's far beyond what they're able to cope with, man. It's something that shouldn't be going on. So something that needs to be dealt with, man. But these, you know, these elites, your governments and stuff like that, right? They ain't doing a damn thing about it, man. Okay, in fact, they're exacerbating the problems. Okay, they're making shit worse. All right, that's why you got people all over the world in an uproar, right? And again, this is one of the key signs to the end, right? And this is what you're witnessing, right? It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and the end is manifest. Everything is manifesting. The end is manifested, man. Right? Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, endings in effects and signs. Okay, these are all the signs. You read Matthew 24, they're all part of the signs. The fact that we're out there on the highways and byways preaching this word all over the earth is part of the signs. You know, the end of this world is coming. Okay, the end of this rulership, this kingdom is coming. All right. So he mentions the upheavals, right? What did he go on to say after that?
What we are living through is a time of great upheaval.
Upheaval, right? Yeah.
Firstly, because we are witnessing, and not just since this summer, but over the past few years, the end of what we might have seen as abundance.
The end of abundance, right? The end of abundance, man. And we know, like I said, we know about the agendas, man, right? We know there's going to be famines, and we know that you know, these guys are playing their part in creating those famines, right? The Most High got that spirit upon them to, you know, exacerbate these issues, man. These food issues, right? You got war in Ukraine. You had a whole issue with logistics back, you know, with the pestilences from the last couple of years. You know, the transport of goods still going on to a degree, I guess. I haven't really seen no news about it, but I'm sure that's probably still going on. There's a backlog of shit that, you know, and the prices and that you know, went up. I'm pretty sure that's probably still going on. You know, the crop failures, the weather, you know, the heat wave, the floods, all of it, right? It's all playing a part to bring around this end and to fulfill prophecy, right? So the era of abundance is coming to an end, all right? Let me get this from Isaiah 47, all right? Yeah, I'm gonna read from the top, right? Verse 1 says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Right? This kingdom is being brought down. Okay, this isn't, you know, you're not in the time of abundance no more. You're not esteemed anymore. You're being brought down. Right? So take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the fire, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. Right? And, you know, this world has been exposed. Esau's been exposed. All the wickedness, all the lies, okay, that is going on in this place, man. Most High's revealing it all, man. And you know, people are not looking at, at places like America and Britain the same way as they used to, man. Okay, this ain't the great kingdom that they make themselves out to be. All right, this righteous kingdom, righteous rulers. No, it ain't. All right. This is says, "And I will not meet thee as a man." Right, when Yahushua returns, he ain't coming back in the form of flesh where you can do damage to, that you can put him on a cross again. They ain't gonna be happening, man. The Lord's gonna come back in His power, and you ain't gonna be able to do a damn thing to the Lord, right? So as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is His name, the Holy One of Israel, right? So sit thou silent, and just to make a point. This is as for our Redeemer. This is personal, man. This is between us and the Heavenly Father. The children of Israel and the Heavenly Father, and He's our Redeemer. He's not the world's Redeemer, right? He's our Redeemer, right? The Lord of hosts is His name, the Holy One of Israel. He is the Holy One of the nation of Israel. He is the power of Israel. Holy means separate, right? He ain't nobody's power, nobody else's power. He's our power, right? So sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Right? So like I said, you're being brought down into the dirt, man. You ain't looking so polished anymore. Okay, you got problems. All right, you got problems, man. So I was wroth with my people, and I polluted my inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Right? We were given into the hand of these Edomites, okay, in the slave trade, okay, America, Britain, the islands, right? We was taken in a cargo slavery, man, in slave ships, right? We was given into their hand by the Heavenly Father because of our transgressions, right? It says, thou didst shew them no mercy, which they haven't. Upon the ancient has thou heavily laid thy yoke. And thou hast said, I shall be a lady forever. So you keep going on like you're gonna, this kingdom of yours that you got is gonna last forever, man. And you got everybody in this world believing that Esau gonna be ruling forever. This kingdom is gonna go on forever. That's why everyone's got their fucking, their lifelong plans, man, and then their generational plans and all this kind of business. They're thinking they're establishing something that's gonna be forever, man. But it ain't, right? Because this place ain't the kingdom of heaven. Okay, that is the only place or only kingdom that has ever been prophesied or ever been said to last forever. Right? And this is not it, man. This is the last wicked kingdom upon the earth. Okay, this will surely be destroyed, man, and it's coming soon. All right. It says, thou hast said I shall be a lady forever, so thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. Okay, you didn't think there's going to be any consequences for your actions against the children of Israel. Okay, you thought you was going to get away with it because the Lord allowed you to do it. All right. So neither didst remember the latter end of it. Okay, you didn't understand or didn't think about what was going to happen at the end. Okay, but what you're seeing now is the end. This is what is happening. Okay, and again, it's going to end with the destruction of America and the destruction of these kingdoms, man. The Lord is going to come and take over and rule over the earth. Okay, and put you nations into subjection. All right. Verse 8 says, therefore hear now this, that thou that are given to pleasures, okay, the abundance, right? That carnality, okay, lust of the flesh. It says, thou that are given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, right? He mentioned that. Or even here it says also not in the end of a carefree era. Let's see.
And for those who enjoyed it, it is also the end of a carefree time.
End of a carefree
Our
time.
freedom.
Right? So it said here, where was I? So yeah, so therefore hear now this, that thou that are given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly. Because you thought you thought you was plain sailing, man. You think nothing was gonna come up and stop you. You thought you was gonna, like I said, rule forever. You thought you was gonna get away with your wickedness and your evil that you done to the children of Israel. You know, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You thought you was gonna get away with that. You thought you was riding off into the sunset, man. Okay, but that ain't the case. Okay, and now you're feeling it. Okay, these are all part of the Lord's judgments against this place, man. All right. So that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know loss of children. You don't think you're ever going to be in adversity. You think you're always going to be on top. You don't think no one's going to be able to take you down out of your power. Right? Verse 9. So, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. Right? So you've had it good for, the amount of time the Lord has had you ruling upon the earth over his people. You've had it good, man. Okay, but all good things have to come to an end, man. Especially when it's wrought in wickedness, it has to come to an end, right? So in one moment, in one day, right, you're gonna be gone. You're gonna be judged. So it was gonna happen one day, right? It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day: the loss of children, great loss, great death, right, and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. Right, all this witchcraft you'll be doing, man, to make the work of your hands prosper, man. All this left hand dealing that you've been doing, all these wicked and evil acts that you've been doing, man, to allow your kingdom to keep going. But it's only going to get you so far, man, because the Lord, like I said, is going to punish you for all this wickedness that you've been doing. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. This kingdom, this world is established on wickedness, man. It's not established on righteousness. Okay, the Most High of the Bible is not the foundation of these Edomites, of America, of Britain. It ain't. Okay, it's Satan. Right? So all they've been doing all this time is wickedness, man. And you can read it in their history, man, what they've been doing on the earth, how they gain power, how they've been ruling, maintaining control. It's all been done through wickedness, man. And that's the stuff that they record, about all the ritual sacrifices, that, goes on behind the scenes, or, the ulterior motive or as to why they're doing things, So much evil and wickedness this kingdom, these Edomites have proliferated on the earth, man, right? And now that's all coming to an end, right? So for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Like again, you think you're getting away with shit. Okay, but the Lord has been revealing you, man, through his prophets. For certain many, he used up to dig up stuff. But we're the ones linking it through the scriptures, man. We're the ones laying it all out there. And telling you, man, you're going to be about to be destroyed because of all of that. People think, these whistleblowers, that they think, oh yeah, if we just put this stuff out there, something has to change. The establishment's going to change, and we're gonna put good people in the offices and in these positions of power. No, it ain't. That's not what's going to happen, man. That ain't what needs to happen. What needs to happen is Esau needs to be destroyed. Okay, his whole kingdom, your kingdom, needs to be destroyed. Okay, all these kingdoms need to be destroyed, man. And we need to start again. That's what needs to happen, man. That's why we're the only ones that really fully understand everything that's going on. We're the ones, beginning of our elders and apostles are putting that out there, man. Okay, laying your shame out there. All right. So thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Right? And mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. It's time. Right? It's time. You can't put it off. Okay? It says, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt know not. All right. So that's what I'll read on that one. But yeah, so he mentioned the carelessness. He mentioned the abundance. That's all coming to an end. All right. Revelation chapter 18 and 9 is in the same sort of point, right? As it's kind of reiterated here. Let me read from verse 3 from the top. All right, down to verse 9. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. Right? And that's what's about to happen, right? And is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Okay, you're sharing the judgment, man. Okay, because you lumped yourself in with America, you're going to receive all the judgments, man. And that's not to say, you nations are going to be utterly destroyed, like America is going to be destroyed, but you nations are going to get judged too, man. You're going to get messed up. All right. This is and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Right, the whole abundance thing. Right. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, that ye receive not of her praise. Okay, don't be joined unto, our enemies, man. Don't be joined unto America and their ideologies, their way of life that they teach. Because, they talk about liberty, okay, but it's not really, what they promote is not really liberty, man. Right? They promote wickedness, right? Which, yeah, you're free to go do that. Right, but that has consequences, man, which they don't tell you about. You're not really free, right? And I'm gonna get it later, but they promote this do as thou wilt spirit, which is really just wickedness, right? And it's not really liberty. But anyway, I'm gonna get to that. It says, and I heard another voice of heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Okay, and now it's time to be judged. To reward her, even as she rewarded you, double unto her, double according to her works. And everything that they've done to the children of Israel, man. Like I said, pick up a history book. And you see all the wickedness that they've done to our people, man. All right. Even to this very day, right? In the cup which she hath filled to her double, right? You're gonna get it worse than what you gave to us, man. That's for sure, 100%, right? So when you fall into our hands, man, yeah, you should be fearful, because we will deal back more than how you dealt to us, man. Because that's the judgment, man. Okay, you violated, man. You overstepped your mark. Okay, you put your hands on the children of God, and you think God is just gonna, the Most High is gonna let you do that. It's not how it works. All right. It says, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Okay, you were mistaken. Therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. Right. So ultimately, beginning of America is Babylon the Great, right, which is the land of America. That's going to be burnt up with fire, destroyed utterly, okay, with fire from the nuclear missiles, man. Okay, and the fire from the chariots, right? It says, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication have lived deliciously with her. Okay, so you're all partakers, right? Shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning. All right, so stand afar for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. All right. So yeah, you've had your time of abundance and delicacies and, your so-called liberty, right? Because all this wickedness has to end, man.
Freedom, the liberty to which we have grown accustomed to in our lives.
That we have grown accustomed to, which has been promoted by you, Esau. The liberty that you allow or, force or convince people to have. Because you don't really promote the ways of righteousness. Okay, you rule by lies and deceit. Okay, you got everybody out here worshiping idols, man. You haven't got nobody out here worshiping the true name of the Most High. You don't. So therefore, you promote all these idols. You're about all those idols. You're about all that witchcraft. Right? That's why you promote all this wickedness, the LGBTs and the bestialities, and you don't do shit about those things. You promote them. Adultery and all this stuff. This is your liberty, man. But we know that this is nothing but sin. This is nothing but wickedness that you promote. Because he says it, man. 1 second.
Lives has a price, and sometimes
the liberty you enjoyed has a price. It has a price because it's not liberty, because it ain't righteous. That's why it has a price, and the price is death. The price is curses, man. Judgments. It's Romans 6 verse 23. For the wage of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahweh Mashiach our Lord. Right? The wages of sin is death, man. And these are all judgments because of this so-called liberty that you've been living. This wicked ass lifestyles that you've been choosing, man. You've been adopting, that Esau has convinced you is progressive. Women over the man. All this business. All these philosophies, all these ways of living is corrupted the people on the earth, man. Okay, and is leading them to death and destruction.
our lives has a price, and sometimes when we have to defend it, we have to make certain sacrifices as we fight to defend.
Yeah, and you will, man. You will make those sacrifices to defend your world, man. Brother Cowboy always, brings out the quote from the Matrix, man. I don't know the quote perfectly like that, but but these people are so dependent on the system that they'll do anything to protect it, man. So you will make your sacrifices to have this world continue, man, because that's how blind you are to it all, right? And like I said, all of that submissiveness that you're gonna be doing, right, is gonna lead you to take the MOTB, which in turn is gonna get you destroyed. All right. In 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 19 says, actually, let me jump up a little bit. Verse 18, right, says, for when they speak great swelling words of vanity, right? And this is what Esau does. It's just pure vain, pure pride and shit, right? They allure through the lust of the flesh, right? They'll appeal to, because the flesh is wicked, man, right? And they throw wickedness out there to appeal to the flesh. Because all these people are carnal right here, man. Okay, they're not trying to be spiritual. They're not trying to resist wickedness. All right, so they give into the lust of the flesh, and like I said, that's what Esau pushes, man, to be carnal, to be lustful. All right, so they allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error. While they promise them liberty, get Macron out here talking about their liberty that we got to defend and protect, right? They promise them this liberty, that they themselves are the servants of corruption. Really, your servants of corruption, man. You're not free. Okay, your liberty shouldn't have a price like that, right? The only thing the Most High requires you, man, for liberty is your obedience to follow the law. And the law is righteous, man. It's not. It really ain't that deep, ain't that bad, man. To love your neighbor. You know what I mean? It's simple things. But you people don't want to do that. You want to give into the lust of the flesh. Because if you follow the ways of the Heavenly Father, man, you ain't got to worry about things like drought. You ain't got to worry about things like heat waves scorching all the crops, food loss, food shortage. You ain't got to worry about that. That's true liberty. Where you ain't got to worry about shit. But no, he's saying, oh, no, you got to make sacrifices. We got to, it comes with a price to live the way that you are living, that you promote, the way of life that you promote. Because it's wicked. You wouldn't need to be doing any of this, man, if you was, being obedient to the Heavenly Father and following His laws, man. You wouldn't be dealing with these types of issues. The Lord would bless the earth, man, if people were doing the right thing. So you don't have to worry about that. There would be no price to pay like that. It's because the way they're pushing it is not right. All right, so while they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption, of whom a man is overcome, of the same he is brought in bondage. All right. The 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 22, right? And, like I said, the time of abundance is over, man. People have to tighten their belts. Okay? Understand that you ain't going to be living... And we've been saying this since the CV era that came, right? Things will never be the same again. And true enough, it hasn't been. And it continues to not be. It's only getting worse, right? And you're going to have to put up with, having less, using less, being poorer. Yeah, you have to just put up with that stuff, man. But that's going to be your new condition, right? And that again, that all plays into the hands of what the WF would be saying. You will own nothing, but the lie is you'll be happy, and you won't be. You won't be happy unless they what's that drug, man? The dopamine. Unless they're drugging you up, man, like in equilibrium, man. You don't feel nothing. You're not unhappy. You're not unhappy. You're not happy. You're just man, they just pump you for the drugs, so you don't even know what the fuck's going on anyway. But that's the future, man. That's the dystopian future that Esau's creating. That's the agendas of the elites. That's the agendas of the wicked. All right, to have this total control over you, man. Right? And like I said, once you've taken the MOTB, it's game over for you, man. Okay, you put so much trust in the system, man, but this whole time, the system's been evil. Anyway, this is 2 Ezra 6 and 22. So suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall be suddenly be found empty. All right, and you're going to experience that again, but worse this time. Right, everybody's having problems with their food supplies and growing and shipping, and because of all the things, the heat wave, the wars, the floods, you know. And like I said, it's all the Most High is doing because the Lord is bringing about the end. Right? These events happening on earth are going to have great consequences moving forward, man. And you people just don't really understand how much of a consequence it's going to be. Okay, you're about to get put into slavery, man. You're about to be oppressed like you've never been oppressed before. I know people have been complaining about, you know, the poor, the rich and poor, the violence getting wet. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. The majority of these people are gonna get pressed into the dirt, man. These people are gonna be suffering out here. And when all the food and the water dries up, man, you're gonna lose it. People are gonna be losing their houses real soon. All this interest, rate rises. People are gonna be losing their houses because they can't afford the mortgages anymore. People are gonna lose their shit. Right, and that's going to obviously create more uproars, more upheavals, more dissent, sedition, right? Which is all part of these prophecies, man. These are the these are the dominoes that are falling. The dominoes are falling, man. One thing will lead to the next thing. Okay, things are going to get worse from here on out. All right. It's Isaiah 19 verse 5. Let me from the top, right? It says the burden of Egypt, okay, which is going into, Esau's kingdom, into America, because Egypt has already been and gone for us as a captivity, but we're in today spiritual Egypt. All right, this is a future prophecy, right? The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt, right? The chariots, right? And the idols of Egypt shall be removed at his presence, right? Because the Lord is going to destroy the land of America, man. And all the idols that are in that land of America, man, they're going to be burned up, all right? So, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, right? There's going to be fighting, man. Civil war, all kinds of things going on. Racial, all these types of conflicts are going to be going on internally, right? As well as conflicts nationally. You're going to have conflicts nationally and internally, right? This is which word is domestically, right? This is and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst of thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to wizards, man. You'll be cancelling all these demons, man. Trying to figure out what the next move shall be. Because things are going to get messy out here, man. Things are going to get messy, man. and they're going to be searching for them demons for guidance. And anyway, so then the Egyptians will give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, okay, that being our Lord Yahweh Shai, who ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Right? The Lord is going to give you over into a cruel Lord. The Yahweh Shai is going to be cruel with you, man. It's like we keep saying, man, the Lord ain't coming to hand out daffodils, man. He is coming to be cruel because he has judgment to deliver. Right? He has wrath to appease. Right? You ain't going to like the Lord when you see him, man. I guarantee you. Talking about God's all love. You ain't going to like the Lord when you see him, man. Alright? It says, and a fierce king shall rule over them, with the iron rod, yeah? Saith the Lord and the Lord of hosts. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up. Okay, again with the water issue, okay? Got a problem with the food, got a problem with the water right now, because of the heat waves. Here in the UK, we just had a little bit of a heavy downpour, where I'm at anyway. But that ain't gonna do shit. Ain't gonna do nothing for these crops. I'll tell you that much. I already heard farmers complain about the dryness and then the torrential downpour. It doesn't help. They need sustained rain over a period of time because the water can't really penetrate the ground when it's that dry, and the rain just comes in one go. It just runs off the ground. Runs down, slopes or whatever. It doesn't penetrate the ground, so it doesn't help grow no crops. right? So the Lord's fucking with you, man. Right? The Lord is causing a miserable time for you farmers and whatnot. All right, but again, they imposing hose pipe bans, you know, things like that. They want you to hold back on using water. They want you to use less water. They want you to use less electricity because of blackouts, because they can't run their hydroelectricity plants. Shit's about to get bad, man. All right. The water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up. And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defence shall be emptied and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither. The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishes also shall mourn. All they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the waters shall languish. Moreover, they that work in fine flax, and they that weave networks shall be confounded, and there shall be broken in the purposes thereof, all that make sluices and ponds for fish. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. Right? The princes of this world, these Edomites, are fools, man. Right? The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. So say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings. Where are they? Where are the wise men? And let them tell thee now. Let them know what the Lord of hosts have proposed upon Egypt, right? Because you think that everything you're doing is bringing about your NWO, man. Right? But how stupid could you be, man? You're doing all this craziness, right? For what? All this wickedness for what? For you for you to lose everything, man. Because imagine this. I know it's not in prophecy, so it couldn't have happened anyway. But imagine this, right? Imagine Esau came into power. Imagine he was just righteous. He's just righteous. He actually picked up the Bible. He actually read it. He's like, you know what? This is a righteous law. We're going to implement these laws. Not pretend to implement them like he has done, but actually implement them. And imagine he carried that out, right? His kingdom would have lasted a hell of a lot longer, man. Let's put it this way, right? If he was able to keep it, which we know he couldn't anyway. But if he was able to keep it, his kingdom was gone forever, man. But no, he does the opposite to that, man, because he's inherently wicked, right? And so his kingdom was inevitably always going to fail and be destroyed. He's a fool, right? He's a fool. Anyway, this is verse 13. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noth are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. This world is hella perverse, man. Okay, from the top to the bottom, from the leaders to the peons out here, man. It's just a perverse spirit, man, and it's spread throughout this world, right? Because like I said, they proliferate these lifestyles around the globe, man, and it's a perverse spirit. Everything out here is corrupt, right? So they have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Right? A lot of these farmers are deciding not to work now, not to plant, because there's little point. It's gonna be a waste of money. Some people are being paid off not to plant, not to sow. People are losing jobs. People are about to lose more jobs. Stores are still shutting down. But eventually, all these farmers and these important people, because let's be honest, man, like agriculture is like the most basic and the most important industries out there. But guess what? That's been an industry that's been dwindling over time. No one wants to be a farmer, in this modern day. No one wants to be a farmer. Everyone wants to come to the city and get a fucking get a city job, which is code word for retail. Because that's what these people do in the city, work for fucking retail. Only a few men are in the office making the big boy money. Everyone that's working in retail are being broke. But yeah, it's been an industry that's been dwindling, man. And eventually it's gonna dry up. There ain't gonna be nothing coming from there, which is what's happening. Just not enough. Right? Verse 16, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women or woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And that's what the Lord's doing. He's shaking his hand over this place right now, messing everything up. All right. So, with that, I'm going to end it here. I think I've said enough, right? And, yeah, man, it's just an interesting thing that he was saying, man. And like I said, it all fits into the scriptures, man. Okay, so this is all good. We look forward to this new era. But anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. And catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. So till next time, I say shalom.